Today I'm going to be talking about the Pokemon Orange Islands arc. Now, if you don't know, basically in an original region, of course most of the anime is based off of the actual regions from the games, but between Kanto and Johto, they had to make something up. And while currently they usually just stay in the region and go on like random adventures and stuff that may be based off the games but are usually like very different, or just completely original and maybe based off the games but they're completely original in some ways, but like also not really because they're in the same region. But with this one, they straight up make a whole new region. But the thing is, it's right after the first region from the games, so they don't have really a lot of Pokemon to choose from. So they can't really take a lot of Pokemon from a lot of different regions because they can only take Pokemon from Kanto. And so I forgot to mention something. I was saying how they only had Kanto Pokemon to choose from, and that's not really true. They did put in some Johto Pokemon, but like only a few. So for the most part, it was just some random Kanto Pokemon that they had to choose from, and that's like just about all they could use. They take some Kanto Pokemon and they make them a little different in a way that has never happened in the games. Like, there was Onix, and they changed it to Crystal Onix. And for this video, I'm going to be using Japanese names for like the characters, but when it comes to Pokemon themselves, most of them, I just remember them from their English names. And if you're gonna be here, like, why are you watching it in Japanese? Because it's better. Anyways, yeah, they had original versions of the Pokemon, and there were recolors and stuff, and it was interesting. It's kind of like the original version of how Alola made their own version of Kanto Pokemon. And these original Pokemon ideas, some of them were, they were just like recolors, that's it. But then some of them, like, oh, this Pokemon turned pink because they eat berries. Like, what? And then it's kind of funny, but it's also like kind of interesting and to see the original interpretations of things that they had to make up for the anime. And it's probably like one of the better fillers I've seen. It's a lot less strange than the filler in Sailor Moon season 2, where we have like this weird tuxedo mask but he's in white clothing and has a different rose. That was strange. And this, like, it is still strange, but it doesn't feel as weird for some reason. And I've not really seen a lot of filler arcs that I don't like, that are really bad. But I always hear that there are filler arcs that are bad, and I feel like maybe people just don't like filler arcs, and I don't get why. I mean, I do get why. People don't like filler because it drags on the story, and people have a short attention span, and they're just like, I just want to see the story. I don't want to see anything in between. And I get that to an extent. Sometimes when I watch a show, I just want to see the story beats, and I kind of want to skip the filler, but I never do because I want to complete the whole thing. So I can understand why people don't like this arc because it's filler, but sometimes people say they don't like this arc not just because it's filler, they just don't like it. A lot of people hate on Kenji, and some of them will be like, who? And it's like, if you watch the show, you know who he is because they literally introduce him. Like, what do you mean who? Like, every character you meet in a show, you're gonna be who at first. So why are you saying who to this character in your review? It doesn't make sense to me. And then some people say they don't like the character because, well, I haven't actually watched like a lot of reviews, but usually people don't like the character and they don't really say much why, they just don't. And I think people don't like him simply because he replaced Takeshi, and people really like Takeshi. I love him, but I liked Kenji and Takeshi because they're both great, and I feel like I kind of wish that the show had both of them in Johto, because spoiler alert, yeah, it's a little later late for a spoiler alert. I should have been sooner, but whatever. Yeah, Takeshi joins them in Johto, and then Kenji leaves them in Johto. And I don't know, I feel like people watching this video probably already knew that anyways. I say that as I started this video introducing the whole arc and stuff, but whatever. But yeah, no, I love Kenji, and I don't really get why people don't like him, because he's great. And a thing I really like of him is he's an artist, and I'm an artist, so I can relate. And I guess one thing about him is he doesn't really have that much of a personality. His personality boils down to he draws. And I just think that's really funny. I guess when you look at it on a critical point, and you're like, technically this is a bad thing. Yeah, I guess technically it's bad that he only has one character trait, but it's just funny to me, and it doesn't really bring down the viewing experience. I say that's his only character trait, but that's technically not true. That's just like the main character trait, and the other traits are very subtle. For example, he's a Pokemon watcher. What a Pokemon watcher isn't really defined that well in this series, so people are understandably like, Pokemon watcher, what even is that? But from my viewing experience, I think it's kind of just you're doing research on Pokemon, because he illustrates the Pokemon he sees. He knows a lot of facts about them. I feel like the way it's presented and such, it seems like they just chose a weird word to describe like, I don't know, a scientist or something, a biologist. I'm probably not thinking of the right word either, but like they just use the English word watcher because they know what watching means, and it's like looking. So like someone who's observing, making observations, and noting it down, that's like a form of science, I think. I don't know, I'm dumb. But yeah. So I think he's like whatever you call that with Pokemon, but they said Pokemon watcher because limited English skills. The show was made in Japan. I feel like a lot of people just like forget that, and they think it was made in America, so they don't really consider that the like title is weird because they put an odd English word that makes sense when you think about it enough, but it sounds weird when you're a native English speaker and you just look at it, you're like, what? And that happens a lot in Japanese media. They'll use a word and it will make sense when you look into it, but at first it's just so strange. For example, All Might from My Hero Academia. It sounds so random, like just the word all and then might. What do those words have to do with each other? But then you realize it's not just those two words, it's they're shortening almighty. In Sailor Moon, there's a attack called Pink Sugar Heart Attack, and when you hear it, you think, okay, pink and sugar, and then you think of the biological condition of a heart attack, and you're like, that's so random. But then when you actually look at the attack, you realize it's actually just pink hearts used in an attack, and then sugar is just some random word to make it sound cute. So yeah, I'm just rambling at this point because this is an unscripted video. I just felt like talking about this. I'm probably gonna have to edit this a lot because there's a lot of points where I just stay silent because I'm not sure what I'm gonna say. I've been recording this for 11 minutes and it's probably gonna be way shorter for you as a viewer because of the pauses and stuff. I guess it won't be that shorter, but like it also will be. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah. And since I was talking about the Orange Islands, you're probably gonna see footage of me playing the Orange Islands ROM hack because I just so happen to have footage of that. I don't know if I'm gonna actually use footage that I already recorded because I don't even remember if that footage that I recorded was good. I might have to like re-record it for this, and you probably don't care about what I'm talking about, but whatever, that's just what I'm thinking about, and so you're gonna have to deal with it because I'm a boring person, but I'm also not a boring person because, you know, what they say is, I don't know what they say. Yeah, I don't really know what else I'm gonna say, so goodbye. Actually, no, I just realized I had a lot more to say. Actually, no goodbye. Sorry, I misled you. I'm evil like that. What I was gonna say was in the first series, in Kanto, Satoshi was like, he was not good as a Pokemon trainer. Like, most of his badges, he didn't even earn correctly. He just kind of got pity points like, oh, well, you didn't really beat me, but you did this right, so here's the badge anyways. But then in the Orange Islands, he actually wins every gym battle. So he earns them all. And one weird thing about this is that there were only 4 gym badges in the Orange Islands, and that's probably because they wanted to shorten it because they knew that Gold and Silver were gonna come not too soon after the arc. But Gold and Silver actually came out before the ending of the Orange Islands came out. So yeah, they already knew that they didn't even need to make a lot of filler for this. And so right after this series, they went to the Johto League. And I'm saying series and season sometimes because I'm so used to like talking about Precure. And then I also think about how the English version, it literally is a different series because it goes under a different title, but in Japanese, everything from Kanto to the end of Johto is one series, and it's just called Pocket Monsters. But it feels like it kind of is a different series, even though it's not, because the arc, I think of the name of the arc, and it's kind of confusing talking about this, because I'm watching in Japanese because that version is better, but I also think about things the way they were localized in English, and it's kind of a mess, but I'm sure you get what I mean. Okay, so I'm gonna actually go this time, I think. Yeah, bye.